The breath, the body, the sound. How the breath and the sound work with our body as we're moving it. And our intention, our focus, our concentration. We bring all those things together as a way of life for us to get on the path of coming out of materialism rather than getting more deeply embedded in materialism. Because we've got to root ourselves somewhere. The root chakra is what needs to be stable and balanced because it gives us our ability to endure. But the root chakra is all about survival also. So when we approach our life in a survival-orientated mentality, we tend to come from a place of animal energy, desperate energy, fearful energy. So when the first chakra is out of balance, this is what we're doing. But when the first chakra is balanced, is when we have learned that our stability, our survival, isn't about the body, but where we find our security is about our alignment with the divine within us, which cannot be destroyed, so does not need to survive. We don't need to get on top. We don't need to prove ourselves. We don't need to make a name for ourselves. We don't need to be anybody. This world would have us believe otherwise. We need to be validated. We need to know we're loved. We need all these things. And it would be really great if we had those things, but sometimes we don't. And sometimes we don't for a reason. Sometimes the divine takes those things away from us so that we really have to go there, so that we don't have the distraction. And in that way, it is a blessing to have things taken so that we go to God more quickly. And we understand where true peace and security can be found, which is there and nowhere else, knowing that you are in the arms of God, the Divine Mother, at all times. And as that energy rises, and as it takes us for a wild ride at times, we can use our creativity to understand ourselves better. We can communicate with our unconscious mind. We can form a relationship with ourself and all those beings that live in us that are trying to agree on something, which doesn't always happen. And we argue with ourselves inside, and we think it's coming from people on the outside. And we abandon and we disown ourselves inside, and we think it's coming from people on the outside. And we give up on ourselves, and we didn't believe in ourselves, and we think the world hasn't accepted us. So we have a long ways to go to that little place right here, to go within, to give ourselves the care and the love that we need, to build that simple life of support, to find the people we resonate with, and to begin to move forward in that magical life, being a child of the Divine Mother. Because life is not about materialism. It is not about being better or more accomplished than somebody else, getting the job so they don't get it, being the winner so they don't win. It's not about that. It's about love. It is about understanding what love actually is. And that starts with learning to love ourselves. And that way we love ourselves is obvious. Look around how you're treating yourself. See how much value you put on yourself by what you do for yourself every day. And not in a fearful, selfish way, but in a way of how much peace do you allow yourself to have? Where have you put yourself? What are you focusing on? What do you think you're actually worth? Do you take the lesser because you don't believe you could have more? The Kundalini awakening means that everything is yours. You just have to go and reach for it and ask for it and pray for it. And what does that do? That just reminds you that it's already yours, but we don't believe, we don't know. We don't think we are worth it. We don't think we are qualified. And so every day, little by little, in time and space, we walk the path moment by moment toward our own recognition of our divinity. to reclaiming what was always ours. And we set ourselves up with the foundation, moment by moment, starting with the breath. How are you feeling in the moment? How is your body feeling in the moment? What is your energy like? Are you jumpy? Are you holding your breath? Are you anxious? Start with that. Start with the temple that you are the divine. So slow it down and try to streamline, because the anxieties, because this Kundalini energy is hitting you in places that your subconscious mind feels. And we are identifying with our personality. And we are afraid because we know death is coming, one way or another. The Kundalini awakening requires a death of the old personality. It requires a death of our self-identification, maybe more than one time, over and over again. Then there's the death of the body. Either way, to our subconscious mind, death is death. This is why we don't let go of habits. This is why we cling to things that hurt us, because it's death. And because we want to survive, even though we know ultimately we can't, if we're leaning on that, it's still going to do what it can do and create a lot of trouble for us. So when we get those feelings of anxiety, which we all get because we're all fearing our annihilation, rather than act out to get away from them, try to slow your life down enough so that you notice when those feelings come up and when you're projecting it onto somebody else. And just stop everything. And don't do anything else until you're back to a peaceful state. Focus on your breath. Still your body. Don't listen to your thoughts. Feel the presence. And don't move forward until you're in the presence. And then start again. And just keep regulating yourself like that. Just keep managing the situation that you're in, which is, it's hard to become a butterfly. It's hard to be born again. You have to take care of yourself inside the cocoon. This is what love is. You have to take care of yourself so that when the day comes for you to take care of others, you're able to. You have to love yourself first and give everything to yourself in the kindest way possible, including compassion, for this awakening, which is a treacherous thing at times, to become a success. Otherwise, the energy just bounces around and our first chakra just can't quite get in a place where it feels like it can rise and lift us to higher levels of being, which is where all humans are headed. And there's a great awakening going on right now in this world. And obviously you are one of these people who are here to raise the consciousness of humanity, starting with yourself. And nobody said it would be easy, but here you are. So get yourself on a daily basis what you need: rest, food, support, so that you can practice the foundation. I invite you here for our classes and for the retreat we will be doing for the summer solstice, where we will practice all of those things I mentioned in order to get ourselves back on track, in alignment with our purpose, in a supportive environment, to create a breakthrough in our lives. Little by little, we keep moving up, closer and closer to our destination, which is right here. Love. True, everlasting, and eternal love. Almighty.